personal development, unplugged. Hey, welcome back to the 5-minute quickie, the 5-minute podcast, videocast, vidpod, or whatever they call it. I don't know. Vidblog, I think they call it. But today I wanted to talk about pausing and stopping. Now, I know I've talked about them before, but in a different way. I want you, or for a different intention, I should say, a different intention. Because have you ever thought of, when you're right in the flow of something, to stop? Stop just before the end. That's a weird concept, because you think, no, I'm right in the middle, I can just keep going, and when I get to the end, but if you leave it just for a moment, maybe 5 minutes, you can leave it overnight and come back. It's as if your unconscious mind is going to incubate your ideas and actually create better ideas, because your unconscious mind knows the answer and you're giving it now time. And because you've left the thread undone, you're carrying on, which means your ideas will keep going. They won't stop when you were planning to stop. So the next time you come back to that idea or that piece of work you were doing, it means you're going to carry on even further with even more intensity, which is like a little bit counterintuitive, isn't it? Because you thought you had all that intensity, and now you're looking to ways to intensify and make even better, if that's the right way of saying it, make even better what you were doing. So think, and the other thing to do is when you stop, some people stop and still think about it. Now, I don't want you to do that, because you're getting in the way of that process. I want you to stop and do something completely different, completely off the wall. It might even, if you're only doing it for a few minutes, just go and find a book that's completely off the subject, and just dive in the middle and read a few pages. Just enough to get this thing out of the way and allow your creative juices from your unconscious to come into your conscious. Try it. I think you're going to find the things you're doing are suddenly going to step up to another level. I really do. And this really works if you've got a bit of a block. Just stop before you start pushing and pushing and pushing against this block. Because if things aren't there, just let it go, because all you're doing is pushing backwards and forwards, and then you're getting into that negative mindset, asking yourself some real bonky questions probably. Why can't I do this? What's going to happen if I don't get it done? And all you're going to do is then set up this little internal dialogue, the pictures in your mind and all that stuff that's going to tell you exactly what's going to happen when you fail, if there is such a thing as failure. Obviously that's really only feedback, but this time if you've got something to do, you're not going to hit that date, you're not going to finish, and the consequences are never as bad as you think they're going to be. But especially if you just say, right, okay, I'm going to do something completely different, but just ask yourself just before you do that, okay, while I'm doing something completely different, what about you, my unconscious mind, doing something for me by finding the answer, by allowing me to find the things that will make me feel good in this part of the project. You've got to try it. You have to try it. So either way, if you're right in the flow or if you're coming to a blockage, just stop for a moment or two. Or at worst, here's the worst thing that's going to happen. You're going to do something for 10 minutes differently. Hey, 10 minutes is only 10 minutes. What's the average thing what might happen? You just go back to where you were. Not a problem. Back to your blockage, which is, but at least you've had a breath, you rest, or you go back to where you were. What's the most likeliest thing is going to happen? You are going to be so creative, because you're going to allow your unconscious mind to give you all the information. You're going to be able to access things that you just couldn't get because you were too intensely, consciously in the way. It's all about getting out of your way and then allowing yourself to show. Hey, give it a go. It's just an interesting little experiment. I'd be really interested to know how you get on. This is the type of things that I'm starting to do by just stopping, going away, coming back, and then as soon as that moment hits me, I'll write in my book or do my journal or whatever and really try to get the juice, the real juice, the nectar that's going to really fire me on to the next stage. Please play, and this is all about play, by the way. Be curious and play, because when you're in that right frame of mind, right frame of emotion, great things are going to happen. There you go. A little challenge to you, a little challenge. But enjoy the challenge and let me know. Just let me know how you get on. I'd love it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this very short 5-minute quickie, and if you did, as usual, maybe just give it to one friend. I wouldn't want you to give it to everybody. I wouldn't want you to do that, of course. I wouldn't want you at all, he said, nodding. And subscribe and all that stuff. You know what to do. Okay, so enjoy. Until the next time, this is me, Paul Clough from Personal Development Unplugged. Personal development unplugged.